Welcome, sinners, to the Cinamen podcast. I'm Chris.
And I'm Tyler.
And today we are going to review Captain America Civil War. It is the accumulation of everything Marvel has led up to this point, and it is amazing.
You could call it Iron Man 4, Avengers 3, Ant-Man 2.
Right. Hawkeye 1, Black Widow 1.
Hawkeye 1? Hawkeye's been in a bunch of movies.
Yeah, it didn't really count. Avengers didn't really count. He had nothing really to do in there.
He was in Captain America 2.
That's true.
As well, not number 2. Was he in 2?
No, he wasn't in 2. But beware, this is all spoilers. From here on out, we're going to talk about everything in the movie. So if you have not seen it...
Captain America dies. You were warned.
You were warned. Hey, you know, can't say you
should have got out.
Damn, they all die.
Yeah,
well,
every single one of them.
Boom.
The rest of the MCU is actually all in purgatory.
It's like Lost.
Yeah. They're still on the island.
Right. So be warned. Spoilers from here on out. We don't know where the conversation is going to take us. If you haven't seen it, proceed with caution. If you have, enjoy.
So if you stuck with us through that, no one died. One person got hurt.
Yeah, and that's the truth. No one dies in this movie, which I think maybe inside is a small complaint of mine that no one died.
You wanted someone to die?
You had an all-star battle and no one died. One guy got hurt.
Who do you think should have died?
Oh, man. I wasn't prepared for a follow-up question.
Captain America, for sure.
No, he shouldn't have died. Not yet. I'd be fine with Black Widow dying. She's had a good run.
I think she's getting a solo movie, though.
I know. I don't want that to happen.
Why? You like spy movies? You like superhero movies?
I like spy movies. I feel like it's everything I should like, but we've had enough of her in the MCU. Like, I wouldn't care to see a Hawkeye movie. It'd be cool, I guess.
I think they should just knock them both out at the same time.
Right. Do like a Hawkeye and Black Widow, Budapest. We all want to know what happened there.
Yeah, what did happen in Budapest?
Boom. Answer one of Marvel's long-running unanswered questions. But out of 10, what would you give Captain America Civil War?
10.
You give it a 10 out of 10?
Yeah, I feel like I'm getting too loose with the 10s, but it was just a fantastic movie.
I feel like Marvel just gives you anything, and you're just like, 10, everything's a 10.
I've only given...
10, Marvel.
I've only given...
I love you, Marvel, 10.
4 out of 13 a 10.
I don't know. How many movies can you give a 10 outside of the Marvel Universe?
I feel like...
Do you think you can get 4 outside of that?
Yeah, definitely.
Really?
I really like movies, man.
We're going to have to talk about this sometime.
We'll probably get into it pretty soon. I'm really loose with the 10s.
War on like an 8.5 or a 9.
You're giving it an 8.5 or a 9?
Strictly because, sinners, I say it all the time, and I'm going to say it again, the villain problem. Joe and Anthony Russo promised us a villain we would remember. I don't.
I think actually a lot of people were really happy with the villain.
He wasn't, what was so villainous about him? He was a normal guy, right? And he's pissed off because his daddy died in Sokovia when they came crashing down the city. And he's no special forces. He's no CIA.
He's
KGB.
got some kind of training.
He's just like some military guy. And he's able to draw out Winter Soldier, whose shield has been looking for 3 years with no bait at all. I don't know. Didn't seem plausible to me. I didn't care about anything he was doing because the Avengers' internal conflict amongst themselves was so much more.
Well, that's the whole point
to look at. I didn't care about the bad guy.
That's the point. Everyone was expecting the third act to be Cap and Iron Man showing up, taking out all the extra Winter Soldiers and the main bad guy, but instead, the Russo brothers purposefully, like, there was people who wanted that to happen. There were people who argued for that to be the ending. But, I mean, even if you look at Batman vs. Superman, that's exactly what happened. Ooh, we're fighting. Now we need to unite for a greater good. It's predictable. Right. They wanted to stay away from what everybody expected and give them something new, something fresh. So what we got instead was a movie where the main villain doesn't even come in contact really with the two main protagonists. Right. They wanted you to focus more on the relationship between Tony Stark and Steve Rogers. Right? That's why we got that emotional scene in the end where Tony finds out that the Winter Soldier killed his parents, and then they had to react to that. And the only good guy who really comes in contact with the main villain is stopping him from killing himself.
Which also raises a point. At the very end, Iron Man follows Cap and Bucky, where this guy has this footage waiting to show them. How does he know Iron Man's going to be there? Did he just assume Iron Man's gonna fly after them.
That's a good observation, and that is really the one thing that you can say.
Like, he can't have been that cunning. There's just no way.
Yeah, that's
He
true.
does not.
I'll give you that. I'd say that's the one flaw of the whole movie. If you can show me some more,
I didn't care that they became friends, got there, and they pitted them against each other again. I feel like you should have skipped the friend shit. He should have been chasing him there. That would give him like motivation to be like, okay, boom, he's coming here because he's after these guys. Instead, they're friends, and he just assumes that Tony is gonna follow him there.
Yeah, you're definitely right.
I don't know.
You're definitely right on that.
I'm ragging on this movie a lot, but let's talk about some positives.
Well, hold on. I mean, let's.
You want to keep digging in?
I want to hash out the villain problem before we move on.
Boom, coming right out the gate, y'all.
Because I really don't think it was a big deal. I like the way that we didn't have what we were expecting.
We didn't have a villain that they could punch, fight.
Because they wanted...
He wasn't trying to create an army. He wasn't trying to destroy the world. He's trying to destroy the Avengers.
And, debatably, he's right. They did kill a bunch of people. They've killed a lot of people.
They have killed a lot of people. Their acts have killed a lot of people. But think of how many people would have died if they weren't there. Did you see any New York policemen fighting Chitauri in the Avengers? No. They were standing there pissing their pants.
You're right. You're definitely right. And the good, I'd say, probably outweighs the bad. But before the superheroes, there weren't big galactic aliens coming to destroy the planet.
That's true. Drawing them
so
out.
they wanted you basically to not be able to side with Captain America or Iron Man. They want the ambiguity. They want you to be conflicted.
The bad side of the pros and the highlights of the cons. So you're like, ooh, where's the line? Like, where do I you were Team Cap, am I right? Were you Team Cap or Team Iron Man going into it?
Let's get into that in just a second. So I just want to wrap this up and get past it because you're right. That was the one flaw in the movie is how did he get them both there? How did he know Iron Man was going to come there?
Right.
It's really...
Like, Marvel was like, and they say not to like force a fight, but I feel like you wrote a reason to have them fight again and have another climax. Like, that to me is just poor storytelling.
I don't think it was poor storytelling. I think it was almost game-changing a little bit. Like, Batman v Superman, I went back and thought about it, and it maybe would have been a little bit better if they would have not had to be buddy-buddy.
Well, I guess I can say that the fight at the end was personal between them. They were out to beat the shit out of each other. Where the tarmac fight, which we are going to cover here in a minute because it is the best scene in the whole movie. Well, they're just out there to like stop them and like contain them. They don't want to kill them, right? They just want to like control them. And then Tony and Cap and Bucky, arguably, I guess, at the end, they're out for blood.
I think they wanted to stay a little bit true to the source material, and they wanted there to be ramifications. You can't just have a big event like this, and then everybody's just like, well, I guess we're just friends again. They wanted to leave the Avengers fractured, right? Like, the way they explained it on the podcast that I listened to, they were talking about how they're about to face the biggest threat they've ever faced, and what could be more interesting than if right on the eve of when they're about to face Thanos, the Avengers are fractured, split up. So that's going to add a lot more tension to movies to come, like Infinity Wars.
I can see that.
So I think it was a good decision.
I can see the setting up for that.
I think you're right. There was a fault in like how did they get him there, but
the last thing that Baron Zemo guy says, like Martin Freeman, yeah. Bilbo Baggins, right? He's in the movie, not in very many scenes. But he's like, what you did, what you tried to do didn't work.
Did it?
Yeah. Sucks to be you. And he's like, did it work?
Yeah.
Did it work? And
he fractured the Avengers.
I guess his goal was accomplished.
I mean, not completely. I bet he wanted a little more blood, but
I wanted more blood. Someone should have died. That was too big of a battle to not have anyone die.
Well, you can't have Tony Stark die because, spoilers, he's going to be in Homecoming.
Yeah. Can't have Cap die. Well, I guess you could. But you look behind the scenes, Chris Evans has another movie contract.
It's almost a curse, like looking that deep into movies, because then oh, well, he's not going to die because he's got more movies on his contract.
Or when they confirm stars to appear in like the sequel and the other movie hasn't even come out.
Yeah.
Like they're like, Thor for Avengers Infinity War. So you're like, okay, so he survives Thor 3. Yeah. Thanks. What if I want him to die? And I wouldn't mind because Thor is the weakest link.
He's okay.
We'll cover that another time.
He actually should have been... He kind of should have been in this movie. We'll get into the comic a little bit.
Right.
So let's move past that. We kind of disagree on the ending here. But yeah, going into it, I was actually Team Iron Man.
Really?
Yeah, I like Iron Man better. I like the powers better.
But more,
I like
his
his personality better.
What the Sokovia Accords, right? Basically telling them the world governments will tell them when and where they are needed. And Cap says, "No, I feel if a situation is bad enough, we will go in there when we feel we need to." And Tony says, "No, we need to be held reliable and accountable. And if you go in unauthorized, you should have the repercussions on you."
So Tony Stark just wants to pass the buck. That gives him the license to go in, do whatever he wants, and the government takes the blame
because they told him to go in.
Yeah.
I'm Team Cap.
I'll say I definitely switched after seeing the movie. It was tough though because it was back and forth the whole time, and if we actually analyze it in like modern society, it's just a bunch of masked weirdos running around with superpowers destroying cities. I'm not saying that government intervention would be any better because that's just the blind leading the blind at that point, but I don't think there's a real solution.
I don't think there is.
We know the superhero's personality. We know who Steve Rogers is. You know, we know a little bit about Ant-Man. We know a little bit about Tony Stark. We know a little bit about them, so we can confidently say that they're going to make the best decision.
Right. But their government don't know that.
So we have the omnipotence that everyone else doesn't have. We can see everything that's going on. So to us, of course, the decision's simple. Just let the Avengers keep avenging.
Right.
But on a real level,
yeah,
it's scary. It's scary to have masked lunatics just running around doing whatever they want to do.
Did you think
Think about the Punisher. I mean, the Punisher just like
goes around like shooting everyone.
Yeah, he's just brutal, you know?
And they call him a hero. Did you think the beginning was that big of a deal? I mean, obviously it's a big deal. People died. But compared to, how many people died when Crossbones just like blown up and Scarlet Witch by the building and he blows out like a corner block of the building? How many people died? They say like 11, 12? Was it more than that?
11 people. It's a lot of people to die.
That's true. But you think of New York. Think of Sokovia. Is that 11 people a lot now? I don't get how this one small scale event.
I think it was just the straw that broke the camel's back.
They were just looking for a reason to get this thing going.
I think people were already upset about it, and this just kind of struck a chord with everybody. And Iron Man's already
setup was way better.
Well, I can kind of see
they can do a lot more in the comic.
I can almost see why Iron Man wanted to go along with it because he's pretty much been the reason for everything.
Yeah, he knows how it feels.
He made Ultron.
He should have comforted her instead of being like...
He made most of the technology that a lot of the bad guys use to attack people. I mean...
Not a very fatherly figure.
Yeah, Iron Man screwed up a lot of things.
Yeah, he has. He's the real villain of the MCU.
We're looking at you, Iron Man.
Looking at you, Downey Jr.
So yeah, definitely Team Cap after seeing the movie.
Should we tell them about the big surprise, if they don't know already?
What's the big surprise?
The giant size surprise.
It wasn't much of a surprise because was it Lego playsets that
ruined,
kind of spoiled it?
Yeah. Instead, I hate, like I said, being a fanboy nerd because I hear shit like that and I'm just like, no. I honestly didn't know when it was coming.
I didn't hear anything about it.
Like Ant-Man
beforehand.
The scene, Ant-Man is in Ant-Man size, right? He's running along something and Cap and Bucky are trying to get to the last Quinjet. And he says, "Oh, we need a distraction, something big." And Ant-Man's like, "I've got something big. I did it in the lab once and it could tear me in half." And he's basically subtly telling you, I'm going giant.
Yeah, as soon as he started talking about it, I knew it was coming.
No, the whole time he said that, I was sitting there like, what's he going to do? I wonder what he's going to do. That's so cool. What's
No, you weren't.
I was, I swear to God. I did not realize it.
I was like, okay, time for Giant Man.
He pulls out the blue thing that makes you big.
Yeah.
And he goes to put it in his belt, and I was like, oh my God, no way. And he did, and Jackson was sitting next to me in theater. He was like, oh my God, Dad, oh my God. And I was like, oh my God, no, oh my God. Like, I was completely oblivious, and he did it, and it just blew my mind away.
That was really awesome. I love when what did he throw, like a truck or something? And he was like, throw this at that. And they threw the truck and the little medallion. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, the shrinker disc thing.
Enlarger thing, and it hit the truck and it got real big.
Yeah.
I definitely think Ant-Man was one of the best parts of the whole movie.
I agree.
Definitely Ant-Man,
Black Panther,
awesome
Panther, addition.
And Spider-Man.
For sure. All three newbies gave it their own pizzazz, and
Ant-Man wasn't necessarily a newbie.
No.
He'd already had his own movie.
Yeah, whatever. Same thing. Anyways, Spider-Man was awesome.
So you just want to go ahead and tackle the whole airport scene?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. What did you think of Spider-Man?
Awesome. Fantastic.
I think it was the best live-action Spider-Man we've seen to date.
Yeah, I think the movie is going to be amazing.
The kid they got to play just knocked it out of the park.
He really
the
impressed me.
Little quips he has while he's fighting was just delivered perfectly.
His back and forth with Downey Jr. when they first encounter each other was just right out of a comic book page.
Yeah.
Beautifully written.
Something that the other two Spider-Men were missing.
He's going to bring a lot to the Marvel Universe. Being that young, living with his parents, trying to, Spider-Man's all about juggling his personal life and being a superhero. Now he's got the Avengers, which just adds more to it. We're in for a big treat here, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Spider-Man Homecoming. When does that come out?
2017? Yeah. When's Black Panther?
Black Panther is 2018. That's so far away.
Ah, man.
I heard Black Panther almost didn't make it into the movie after Spider-Man got approved.
Why they thought Spider-Man would, outshadow him?
Well, I think they were trying to get Spider-Man. They didn't know if they were going to be able to, so they decided to introduce Black Panther.
Right.
And then they got Spider-Man and just decided to keep both of them. I don't know if that's 100% true, but that's what I heard.
Right. Both of them, great additions in the airport scene, by the way.
Yeah, that was super
Vision
awesome.
doing his thing.
Why couldn't Vision and Scarlet Witch just take everyone out? Because they're definitely the most powerful, too.
You think Scarlet Witch could have taken out all of Team Iron Man, and Vision could have just, blown away Team Cap?
Yeah, definitely.
They could. I mean...
Maybe they just didn't want to kill the other side.
Yeah, I guess they didn't want to.
I like how everyone had different motives going into the airport scene.
I agree. It wasn't just
So you had Cap and Iron Man, obviously very personal.
Right.
And then you had Black Widow, who was kind of playing both teams.
She was doing what she had to do, what her job said she had to do for Team Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously later we found out,
So why was Hawkeye helping Captain America?
To wrangle in Tony Stark? I think he was like, hey, we need your help with Tony Stark because we're wanted fugitives.
Then you got Winter Soldier, obviously trying to survive. Then
Right.
you got Black Panther trying to take out Winter Soldier because he blames him for his father's death. Then you got Spider-Man trying to impress
Tony
Iron
Stark.
Man.
Yeah.
Ant-Man's just happy to be there.
Why is Vision on Iron Man's team?
I can't remember.
I think he's just as an android looks at
the greater good.
yeah.
And plus, he's only 1 year old at this point, right?
Yeah. He only had his
He's
first
just
birthday.
still learning.
Yeah. It was the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, I think it was worth the price of the tickets just by itself.
Everyone got their fair share of screen time, their fair share of awesome epic moments.
Showing off their powers.
And before that, kind of progressively throughout the movie, you'd see the heroes intermingle with each other. You see Scarlet Witch and Vision. You see Hawkeye get some action in there. Black Panther and Cap exchange some blows.
Why are Scarlet Witch and Vision so close?
I don't know. I can't say. I'm not big on the Marvel stuff. I especially don't know anything much about them. They're both outcasts. I don't know. She likes robots. She likes his complexion.
Yeah, I actually didn't know until this week that Scarlet Witch was one of the Olsen sisters.
Yeah, she's the youngest one.
Yeah.
You couldn't look at her and tell?
Yeah, I didn't really pay attention. Plus, she's got that accent.
Nah, it's a fake accent.
Well, duh. Now I know that.
Did you think it was real?
I just didn't think about it.
I
didn't overthink it.
I kind of feel like they dialed it down for this one.
Yeah, a little. It comes and goes.
Yeah, and that's whatever. I could live without her being Russian. X-Men ruined them for Colossus. How many movies before the Deadpool came out? Assholes. That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
Whatever. Did you think this was the right way to go for a Captain America movie? Do you think it was a Captain America movie? Do you think it was an Iron Man movie? People were debating that in some article I was reading.
I don't know. It was definitely a little bit of both. I guess it was definitely a Captain America movie because it seems like they're wanting you to side with Captain America a little bit. They want you to be conflicted, obviously.
They're pushing for Cap, but also Tony got his point across. I feel like General Ross was a waste.
Yeah, it didn't really do much.
No. I feel like you could have given him the whole villain role, but almost the whole villain role. Give him the motivation as to why this needs to get done. I mean, I don't know. I feel like you just brought him in because he was still around, and
it's remember we had that guy way back then? Yeah, let's throw him in.
What was his name? General Boss
Hog?
Floss? No, shit. Yeah, whatever his name was.
Just call him up.
The guy who hates Banner. Yeah, get that guy.
Yeah, but the Hulk's not in this one. Yeah, so what?
I wish he would have reflected more on that. I feel like he could have used that as ammo in the tank for I saw what one of you could do, and now look what all of you have done. And you want me to trust you? Like, one green monster took out all my men.
Is he someone significant in the comics?
Yeah, he's the Red Hulk.
Red Hulk?
Yeah.
So you think we're going to get Red Hulk in this
I don't think
universe?
we will in this universe.
Okay.
No. I think they have a hard enough time trying to find where to put the Green Hulk, much less another Hulk. And I feel like one movie with just the Red Hulk would be a waste.
Yeah. You've read the comics, right? Obviously, because
some here and there.
I'm talking about the Civil War comics.
Yeah.
Because I borrowed them from you. I'm assuming that you read them. What'd you think about them in comparison, like the comics to the movie?
I feel like the comic has maybe a little stronger plot.
It's got a lot more heroes too.
But it definitely deals with superhero identities as well as the Superhero Registration Act.
Yeah,
whereas the movie, the identities is not a factor.
Well, because it's not even a factor in the universe at all.
Right.
Everyone knows who Tony Stark is.
That's just
everyone knows who Captain America is.
That's just a separation from the comic and the movie.
Does Ant-Man have a secret identity, or do people just not even realize Ant-Man's a thing yet? Because, I mean, Ant-Man was a pretty isolated incident. It was like a heist movie, so I don't think that made the news. Did it? I can't remember how it ended.
Maybe. Remember, there was a giant ant walking around. The house got blown up.
Yeah, giant ant. That's, they've seen a lot worse already.
That's a weird dog. Weird looking dog. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they couldn't bring the X-Men in because of...
Right, and Thor being a clone in the comics.
That was kind of cool.
I'm glad they left that out.
Why?
I just thought
that was like the only person that got killed in the comics.
Thor?
No,
Goliath?
Goliath by Thor.
Right.
Yeah, if you hadn't read the comics yet, go ahead and check them out. They're actually pretty good. I'm not one to actually read comics usually, but I actually went through and read all 7 of them, and I enjoyed myself.
Yeah, they're not bad.
I'm actually kind of glad we're doing this episode now, so I don't have to think about any more Marvel stuff for a while.
Right.
I'm pretty Marveled out. 3 full weeks. I watched 13 Marvel movies, read 7 comics, watched countless YouTube videos, and read countless articles on everything Marvel.
This will hold me over till Doctor Strange.
But then, obviously we're diving back into X-Men in a couple of weeks.
Right.
For X-Men Apocalypse.
Super excited.
Yeah?
Super excited.
I still haven't seen the first 2.
You will. I think you're going to like them. I think most people like the Marvel Universe better than the X-Men, but...
Well, X-Men is Marvel.
I mean...
Yeah, I know.
Cinematic universe.
Yeah, I definitely do, too.
Do you?
The first 3 X-Men were just... They were pretty good when they were first coming out.
They're a little hard to watch now.
I don't know. I haven't watched them in years. I own them. Oh, I own some of them. I don't even know which ones.
Dust them off. Give them a watching. You might like them.
So what'd you think of the hologram of young Tony?
Look just like him.
Yeah, that was crazy. They used the same technology on Ant-Man.
Right. It's a similar effect. Patrick Stewart, Ian McKellen, X-Men 3.
Did they really do it with him too?
They like go in and CGI, like de-age them.
The difference with this one though is it was a close-up. Like you got right up in his face.
You did. It looked legit. Like they pulled footage from a movie or something. Like
I couldn't believe it. I didn't know if it was like some kind of look-alike or it was just so perfect. It really looked like Robert Downey Jr. in his prime.
It did. I
don't know if you'd call it his prime, really.
I think he's in his prime right now.
Yeah, maybe this is his prime. Maybe he had his like midlife crisis. He had a quarter-life crisis.
His prime is after his midlife crisis. Yeah.
40's the new 20, guys. Or how old is he? He's probably like 50, 40. You look good, Robert Downey Jr. I don't know how old you are.
Yeah, he does look good.
But you're killing it.
And he's still Marvel's number 1 guy. The face of Marvel, you could say, since 2008. The time is going to come where he gets dethroned and they move someone else in to take that spot. Either he dies.
The Iron Man spot?
No. The face of the MCU. I mean, face it. He's like the godfather.
You think he's going to get phased out?
Oh, shit.
Phase 3 phases.
I don't know. I mean, his reign has to come to an end sometime, so...
I don't know. I think he does a great job. He could just be Iron Man forever.
I don't think anyone can say that he doesn't do a great job.
Are there any other Iron Men in the comics?
No.
Tony Stark?
I don't
Tony Stark for life?
Maybe someone else has worn the suit here and there.
He is Iron Man.
He is Iron Man. He said it at the end of the first one, in case you didn't see it.
Still true today.
Still true.
Unless you're listening to this way in the future, in which case, why are you still listening to podcasts? Shouldn't you just be like in cryogenic hypersleep?
Maybe Earth is dead. You're on a different Earth. Earth 2.
Earth has been dead. This is all a dream.
Whoa.
Wake up.
Don't get too deep.
Okay, sorry. Back to the surface here. We got a lot of good movies coming up in Phase 3. What are you most excited for?
Avengers.
Really? That's such a
I think
boring
so.
answer.
No, that's a great.
Of course
answer.
you're excited for Avengers.
I'm excited for Black Panther. I'm glad that they got his origin out of the way.
I think it comes as no surprise that I'm excited for Guardians too.
Oh yeah.
That's my favorite. Ant-Man and the Wasp looks awesome. I mean, looks awesome. I haven't seen anything about it, but I'm
hoping
it seems
that
awesome.
There's
The
some
concept.
Giant Man action in there.
There's gonna be.
Uh,
Why wouldn't there be? Well,
because it's Ant-Man and the Wasp. I feel like we're getting. I hope we're not getting gypped, where they service Ant-Man as a treat or Giant Man as a treat, and then Ant-Man and the Wasp comes out. We don't see him again. I'm gonna be pissed off.
it's kind of weird that they didn't save Giant Man for Ant-Man's own movie.
I feel like that too.
Well, the Russo brothers talked about a different way because they structured the fight scene into 3 acts. It's like a 3-act structure, and the turning point is Giant Man. And they said they discussed a couple other ways to have the turning point in the fight, and they just couldn't think of anything as fun as Giant Man.
So he originally wasn't in the concept for this movie.
No, I think Ant-Man was always in the concept.
No, Giant Man.
Giant Man, yeah. I mean, it's the same person.
Because I felt like that too. Like
Why does
maybe
he
that
get-
should have showed up in his own movie.
Why does he get to keep 2 personalities? Like, why is he 2 superheroes?
Chris Evans has been a few superheroes.
Like who? No, I mean,
Ooh.
that's not what I meant.
Just went there.
And you know it.
True Marvel fans, you know what I mean.
You know it.
But if you don't, you're not missing anything.
So we actually got 2. We kind of got 2 origin stories in
We
this
did.
movie.
We did.
Going back to what you were saying, we got Black Panther, which is that how it goes down in the comics? I hate to keep asking this question.
I assume so. I think his father wore the suit, but that guy didn't look like he'd worn the suit in a few years.
Maybe they had a tailor, a
and
professional,
so-
a superhero tailor. You know,
Right, and he's the king of Wakanda. He dies.
not anymore.
Not anymore. That's
Now
right.
his son. So the king of Wakanda is a superhero.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I agree.
Is Wakanda a real place?
Think if Barack Obama was a superhero. Whoa.
Maybe he is.
Oh shit. God, what if Donald Trump becomes a superhero? Ugh.
Super villain.
Yeah. Jeez, yeah. You ever play Injustice? That's how it's gonna go.
No, I haven't.
No. Okay. Well, never mind. Anyways, right. We got Black Panther.
He did such a good job. He
He
just brings
did.
such a different kind of essence to the superhero. Like he's so calm and collected and precise.
Right.
And the suit was awesome. What'd you think of his suit?
The suit was badass. I'm glad it just wasn't like black spandex, and it is made out of vibranium. Yeah, not adamantium. That's Fox Wolverine nonsense.
So is vibranium an invention of the MCU?
I don't know. I think it's in the comics, but I think
Most every
a lot of stuff they're using it for was adamantium. Like I thought Captain America's shield was adamantium. I thought Black Panther's stuff was adamantium. I could be wrong. Sinners, comment. Let me know if I'm wrong. I don't know what Captain America's shield and Black Panther's suit are in the comics. Let me know.
tell us
Vibranium or
we're, tell us we're
adamantium?
idiots. Why can't they use adamantium?
It's one of those rights that Fox has because it's their X-Men franchise. Like the Marvel universe can't use the term mutant. That is strictly Fox, strictly X-Men universe.
Can
That's
another movie use the word mutant?
I don't know. Maybe not under Marvel because what if someone's just like, yeah, it's probably just Marvel.
That's such bullshit.
Like I don't know why DC couldn't just be like,
You're not that great,
Mutant.
Fox.
yeah, like you patent a word? What? That don't make sense.
You already have the X-Men. You're already holding the X-Men hostage. And Fantastic Four. You're not doing anything great with Fantastic Four. Give it back.
3 movies now, and you haven't done anything great with Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
You know,
you guys
all I
play
see-
baseball? You're out.
I see 3 missed opportunities. That's what I see. And I watched them. That's hours of my life I will never get back. Ever.
Unless you find the time stone.
Oh, shit. Phase 3, what up?
Phase 3 is going to be awesome. I think it's going to be the best phase yet.
Right.
It's got the most exciting movies. Doctor Strange. I don't know anything about Doctor Strange, but just from seeing the previews, it looks so good. What do you think about the
it looks
guy
awesome.
they got to play Doctor
I
Strange?
love Benedict Cumberbatch.
He's the
He played Smaug the dragon
is that
in
really
the
his
Hobbit
name?
movies.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah. He plays
He plays a
Sherlock.
dragon?
Yeah, in the Hobbit movies.
Is it like a personification of a dragon, or is it just a dragon that talks?
It's a huge ass dragon that talks.
Does it have his face, or does he just
Yeah,
do the
he did
voice?
the mocap for him.
Really?
And everything. Voice and mocap. Yeah.
And
It's awesome.
he plays Sherlock too, right?
Yes. Both he was in with the Martin Freeman, Bilbo Baggins.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So they both made their way into the Marvel Universe now.
Well, that's kind of awesome.
But he played Khan in Star Trek Into Darkness.
Did he?
He did.
I can't wait to go back because there's a third one of those coming out, right?
He is iconic to me. Oh. He wasn't. Was he in Star Wars? No, he wasn't in Star Wars.
No way. Maybe.
He should have been.
I don't
He should have been
think
in
so.
Star Wars.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think in Star Wars? That's Disney too. You already,
I know, right? Just rehash the actor. It's fine.
What'd you think about Spider-Man's line? Have you guys seen that really old movie?
Oh, the Empire Strikes Back?
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man was one of the highlights.
Yeah,
Like
definitely.
I said, the kid was amazing. His interaction with Cap, like there's, his little goofy battle with Cap.
Tony said he would say that.
Yeah.
Oh man, just so good. There's not usually this much talking.
The kid was awesome.
Yeah, he was great.
They found someone I think they know they can build a franchise with. Someone we can all relate to.
I love when he started to tell the origin story and Tony kind of just shushed him.
Yeah.
That was so great because, we've had to see Uncle Ben die so many times now. We
Yeah.
get it. We get it.
And they talk about how everyone else was talking about Aunt May being like a stone cold stunner.
Yeah,
Damn, she's looking good.
she's a fox.
She is a dime. Oh, yeah.
Top of the line. Cute face, small waist. We didn't get to see her behind, but I'm assuming it was big.
Is that like a quote from a song?
Yeah.
Never heard of that. Who sings that?
I don't know.
Oh. You don't know?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's a very quotable song.
Okay. Huh, rap song? What kind of?
Yeah,
what kind
that's
of,
rap, for
okay.
sure.
Yeah,
No, it was country western. So we got Doctor Strange, Guardians 2, Spider-Man, Homecoming. Amazing. Thor Ragnarok. Okay, Thor, we'll give you another chance.
I'll give you a third and final chance.
Black Panther, crazy good, I'm assuming. Avengers, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Avengers 2, and then Captain Marvel. Is Captain Marvel the end of Phase 3?
I have no idea what the end of Phase 3 is.
How wouldn't Avengers be the end of Phase 3?
Avengers wasn't the end of Phase 2.
That's so weird. Why would you end it on Ant-Man?
Probably because if you see Ant-Man, you're gonna think, wait, why isn't he in Avengers?
Why wasn't he in Avengers?
True. I think they felt like with Vision, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver, that's enough. Because I think Joss Whedon wanted Spider-Man and Captain Marvel at first to be at
Captain Marvel, that's like at the very end.
Yeah. And I think they realized, no, that's not going to happen. And the Sony deal wasn't quite all the way through yet. So we could have had a very different turnout so far.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. How does the Sony deal work?
I'm not 100%, but they share Spider-Man and his affiliates, like Green Goblin, his bad guys, all that stuff.
From what I was understanding, it
Marvel's
seemed
going to
like
have a lot of creative control, as well as Sony.
it seemed like Marvel was making the movie and Sony's getting the credit. That's the way I've interpreted it, and I know I'm probably wrong. I think Sony will probably have a little bit more.
I think Sony gets more profits on the standalone movies. Spider-Man gets, or Marvel gets maybe more properties or more money with just like shared properties, maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Sinners, if you know anything about it, let us know.
They should definitely do that with like the X-Men. I wouldn't mind. I don't care about Fantastic Four, but I'd like to see the X-Men.
Let's let Fantastic Four die.
I'm fine with not seeing them for like another 10 years.
I'm fine with never seeing them again. Sorry, Stretch.
Perfect opportunity wasted by Josh Trank.
You had your chance.
Yeah. Chris Evans was the only saving grace from the old ones. I don't know if this new one had a saving grace. God.
You know what I'm excited for on Thor Ragnarok? The director. Have you ever seen any of his movies?
What movies has he done?
What We Do in the Shadows. Did I show you the trailer for that? It's a mockumentary about vampires that all live in a house together. It's hilarious. It's got Jabane Clement from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, yeah, God.
And they did Eagle versus Shark with Jabane in it. Just like a
sci-fi movie?
It's an awkward love rom-com kind of.
Okay.
I have no idea how that translates to Thor, but I'm so excited to find out. I really love What We Do in the Shadows, and I cannot wait to see what he does with Thor.
I'm not gonna judge the guy. Like I said, I've been proven wrong. I said, oh my God, the Russo brothers are going to direct Captain America 2. And then they totally blew me out of the water.
And then Iron Man 4?
Right. But Shane Black came and ruined Iron Man 3. So I'm not going to diss this guy until I see his material. Thor is already a hard sell for me. Good luck.
Well, it's arguably gotten progressively better.
Yeah, I'd say that.
Which, it's kind of
Hopefully
funny how the only thing that didn't get progressively better was Iron Man.
Got progressively worse.
Progressively worse.
Like, the action stayed the same, but then, like, the climax had a problem, and then the villains had a problem. God, Marvel, get it right. I'm expecting a lot out of Thanos. I'm hoping that they can fix this.
Thanos, you need to get your fat ass out of that chair
Yeah.
and do something big.
Get your crippled purple ass out of the chair and beating some bitches up. Okay?
But it's, more than likely he's just going to get the glove and then sit back in his chair
I'm
probably.
actually about to read Infinity Gauntlet later. I got the comic book.
You got plenty of time.
Yeah. I got the comic.
You do have it.
And apparently it is just him killing everyone.
Can I borrow it?
Absolutely.
Awesome. See, Cinamen share, guys.
That's right.
Always share.
We're Cinamen. We share.
We're not babies.
But, Sinners, tell us what you thought of Civil War. Like I said, I gave it, I think my final answer is going to be a 9 because it had awesome action, and I'm an action guy. If you got action, I'm going to forgive you on a few things, like your dumb villain problem.
All right, man, you ready to wrap this up?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks, sinners, for tuning in. If you haven't seen Civil War, you probably shouldn't have listened to this podcast, but go see the movie anyway.
We highly recommend it.
It's fantastic.
It's amazing.
Terrific.
It's
inspirational.
Awesome. Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Dang it. Should
Gotcha.
have thought of that. I couldn't think. Brain fart.
So yeah, next week we will be getting off of superheroes just for 1 week, and then we'll be back on X-Men. So, just tell people about the podcast. We need your support if you want us to keep going.
We couldn't do this without you. Make sure to rate, like, subscribe, share any way possible.
Follow us.
We appreciate it.
Tweet at us, at the Cinamen.
Anything. Don't care what you do. Write it in blood, lipstick on the mirror, and say Bloody Mary. Do it. Or Candyman? I don't know which one it is.
Both of them.
Just be careful.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
If you have the Ouija board, and you get to ask it a question, bet you we're the answer. No matter what it is. That's how
you
awesome.
got a question, we are the answer.
We are the answer.
The
I have
Cinamen.
the answer. We are the answer.
But whatever you do, just please
Please.
don't be a dick.
Support the podcast.